Hello students, my name is Mr. Harshal Nezkar and we are studying the subject of basic human rights. This is lecture number 21. In the last lecture we have studied the need of women empowerment and the government schemes that are being run nowadays to empower the rights of women. So now in this lecture we are going to study the another major problem that is present in our Indian society, and it is causing the so-called unrest in our society. All right, so let's move on to the next social problem, that is unemployment in India. So basically, the unemployment means a situation in which people are willing to work at the existing rate of wage, but they do not have any job. Also, a man is called unemployed only when he is both without a job or not employed and also desires to be employed. So that is the definition of basically the concept of unemployment. All right, so let's move on to the unemployment rate that is present in our country. So the first graph, the above graph, it shows the unemployment rate in percentage over the uh, 20 years, all right, from 1991 to 2020, and it's almost being same over these particular years, but the population isn't same as that of the 1991. So this particular constant rate of unemployment of about 5.3 to 5.7, it's almost like the unemployment rate is increasing over this particular years because the population is also increasing. And the below graph, it shows that it shows the percentage youth unemployment of age between the 15 to 24. That means the youth from the ages from 15 to 24, and the employment unemployment rate of those particular youth. And we can see this particular graph, it shows like in the year of 1991 it was almost 16.5, but in the year of 2020 it is almost reached to the 23% of the unemployment. So basically that is a huge problem that is causing the social unrest in our Indian society. So that's the scope of this particular unemployment issue in our country. So let's move on to this types of unemployment. So basically it is the types of unemployment that is uh, uh, defined by the sociologist. So let's study this particular first type, that is the frictional unemployment. So this type of unemployment, it occurs as workers, those who left existing job voluntarily and take some time to move on to the another job. Some workers resign after finding a job, while large number of workers quit and look for another job. There will be a time lag between the finding a new job and quitting the old job, and which matches their skill or experience. So some of them might even be contemplating on taking up a course or a college degree to better their chances of getting a better job profile. All right, so that is the particular definition of frictional unemployment. So when a particular employee, if he is not satisfied with this old job, he will resign with this job, and then he will try to find the new job according to the his satisfaction, or he will take a course in a degree college or any other diploma course to find the better job profile. From an economic point of view, frictional unemployment is not really a concern, as it happens in a small numbers only, and it extends for a short period of time only. Rapid advancements in technology and government policies over the last 2 decades have taken away the negative limelight from this category of unemployment. Then the fresh college graduates looking for employment also fall in this category only. All right, so that was the first type of unemployment. Then we will move to the structural unemployment, which occurs due to the multiple correlated reasons such as less demand for skills or education in the job marketplace. More workers in the market with a certain skill set than the jobs in demand, or when wages do not match the market standard, also fall in particularly this category. The technological advancement and finding cheaper employment from other geographies are some of the reasons that lead to the structural unemployment. The seasonal unemployment also falls under this category, since the skills of a worker possesses are in demand only for a definite period of time. These workers remain unemployed for a definite part of the year owing to the nature of job. For example, suppose a lifeguard at a beach holiday resort. So he will be employed for a definite period of time only, and the period other than that he will be unemployed based on his skill set only. The structural unemployment is quite a serious concern, since it can be active for a long period of time. So that was the structural and unemployment. We'll move to the cyclical unemployment. Massive job losses during down phases of economy are very common, and during the stable upward economic growth, millions of jobs are created owing to the optimism in sentiments of the particular organizations. The cyclical unemployment is the term used to describe the ups and downs associated with the business cycles in an economy. It is quite a natural occurrence for a job to fall during recession due to fail in demands, and similarly they are expected to rise during the stable economic growth. So basically it is a cyclical process of employment and unemployment. The economic stability has a direct say in cyclical employment, which can be the cause for creation or destructions of millions of employment opportunities. So basically it is a cyclical process. Then we will move to the voluntary and non involuntary employment. As the name suggests, this basic classification of employment is in terms of the reason for separation from the job. If a worker, suppose he quit voluntarily pursuing better opportunities or aspirations, it is termed as the voluntary unemployment. On the other hand, if a worker has been fired by the employer, it is known as the involuntary unemployment. So these were the types of unemployment that are present in our particular society. Now we will move to the types of unemployment that is basically present in our country only. So there are basically two types, that is the rural unemployment and urban unemployment. All right. Then there is the in rural unemployment there is seasonal and disguised unemployment. So we will study these particular types. The India has roughly 70% of its population living in rural areas. The agriculture forms the mainstay of the rural population, but not enough employment is available for those living in the rural areas, and which leads to unemployment, which can take three forms: open, seasonal, and disguised. Of which the seasonal unemployment, it is the case with this is that workers remain out of work for a particular season. For example, suppose workers hired for the harvesting season remain unemployed for the remaining part of the year, or if the industry itself is a seasonal, then workers naturally remain unemployed during the off season of that particular industry. All right, so that was the seasonal unemployment. Then we have the disguised unemployment. It is the particularly plagues the Indian agrarian scenario, that is the agricultural society. In this case, more workers than required are engaged on the farm, where not all of them are actually productively contributing to the creating output. Thus, the marginal physical productivity of many workers is zero, which happens when almost the entire family engages in farm production. So that is the disguised unemployment that is present in our agricultural society. Then we will move to the major issue that is causing the unemployment, that is urban unemployment. The unemployed in the urban areas have increased considerably over the past 40 years. Normally, the number of urban unemployed is registered with the unemployment exchange boards. So there are two types of urban unemployment, that is industrial unemployment and educational unemployment, of which the industrial unemployment, it is with the rapid growth of population and urbanization, more people seek employment in industries. Because of seasonal nature of agriculture, people from village come to the urban areas in search of industrial jobs. But the industrial sector in India is not so large that it can give job guarantee to everyone comes seeking the job. So that is the industrial unemployment. Then there is the major issue, that is educational unemployment. The most horrifying kind of unemployment is when the educated youth are unable to find appropriate jobs to suit their qualifications. Educated unemployment, in simple words, is not finding a job in particular industry despite holding a relevant degree and willing to work at a industry standard wages or salaries. The youth employment in India is among the major concerns that we have seen in earlier slide, that was almost 23%. All right, and it is one of the most widely discussed issues, yet it has hardly seen any resolution. Education for us Indians is finishing schools and colleges, but we fail to uh, understand that that's not it. It's not the number of years that you spend in schools or colleges that's going to land you a job, but it's the quality of education and knowledge acquired by you during the years that particularly matters. Most of our childhood and youth is spent in mugging up textbooks and very less in practical understanding and acquiring skills. So, according to a report, almost 2 million graduates and half a million postgraduates are unemployed in India. Around 47% graduates in India are not suitable for any kind of industry role. Above all, the level of educated unemployment in India, it increases with the higher education. While at the primary level, youth unemployment is somewhere around 3.6%, it is 8% at the graduation level and 9.3% at the postgraduate level. So that is the most horrific situation that is particularly concerned in front of our society. All right, so that were the types of unemployment that are present in our country. Let's move on to the causes of unemployment. So basically there are five causes that are causing the unemployment. First of which is the rapid population growth, then the slow rate of economic growth, low education standard, lack of right skills, then we have the changing technology that are causing the unemployment. So we'll study one by one. The first one is the rapid population growth. The population, or as they say, the overpopulation, has always been a roadblock for considerable number of issues. An economy that has 1.35 billion people living in it, we can hardly expect to see that the demands of each and every individual are met. We, the population is humongous for meeting the basic food supplies and medical treatment. All right, and the particular job placement, it is another issue. Talking about the youth population and the youth unemployment in India, according to a source, every year India sees 8 to 9% increase in enrollment at higher education level. India is among the top 5 countries to have highest number of students going to the universities. The problem here is that there is no equivalent rise in the number of opportunities of jobs. The supply of graduate is more than the demand that is present in our industry. This gap especially widens in the times of recession, when the companies and organization finds it difficult to cope up with the crumbling economy of our country, and which results in laying off employees with much less hiring the new employees. So that is the uh, rapid population growth and its effect on the unemployment. All right, so we'll move to the next cause, that is the slow rate of economic growth. All right, so a low rate of economic growth, it can cause the higher unemployment. So if there is a negative economic growth or recession, we could definitely expect the unemployment to rise, which is because if there is less demand of goods, firms will produce less, and so they will need the fewer workers than before. And in a recession, some firms will go bankrupt, making all of the employees of that particular firm to lose their jobs permanently. The firms will also be reluctant to hire workers when there is uncertainty and the negative growth of economy of the particularly country. All right, so that is the uh, slow rate of economic growth and its effect on unemployment. So move on to the next cause, that is low education standards. For this, so when we compare our educational institutions with the ones outside the country, we come to an understanding that the teaching methodology is the extremely flawed methodology. So, with the outdated curriculum, inferior teaching resources, lack of basic infrastructure, and they are at the root of youth unemployment. The students are not trained to meet the needs of economy or to understand the subject to the core, but rather to cram up the syllabus and get the better grades only. Above all, the present education system has become a way of business for most. The fees have skyrocketed, whereas the quality of education has remained substandard, and it tends to leave most youth at the mercy of government colleges, which by far are completely lagging behind when they are compared to the private institutes. So while increasing number of institutes in any given field, it is important in the light of rising population. The quality of these institutes was and has never been touched upon. In India, the rising number of institutes only means compromising on quality of education, probably due to the monetary resources and funding. So that is the issue. So there were the number of engineering institutes in India. It was 337 in the year of 1990, and in 2017 it has gone up to 6,427 engineering institutes only. All right, but as the number of institutes are increasing, the quality of education is not particularly increasing with that increase in number of institutes. All right, so that is the root cause of this particular low education standard issue, which is causing the unemployment in our society. So then there is another issue of lack of right skills that is causing the unemployment. For the 688 million Indians, those are falling under the working age category. Skill development is more like a major necessity. Most of them, however, remain jobless due to lack of awareness about the right vocational training and job guarantees. At present, the country is experiencing a massive skill gap where 65 to 75% of the 15 million youngsters entering the workforce every year, and they are either found unemployable or are still not ready for the jobs. For ages, our educational system has provided degrees to students without focusing much on imparting specialized skill sets that are required by the industry. To be fit for the working in any industry, it is quite common or quite important to equip oneself with the necessary skill set and focus on the competency. However, most youth today lack the appropriate skills that a job specification requires them to have. A very high number of graduates do not have required proficiency in English communication. The role of primary education steps in when we talk about these particular skills, and it is important to focus on these basic skills like communication and language at elementary level. All right, so that was the issue of lack of right skills that are required by the industry. All right, so let's move on to the next issue of changing technology, which is causing the unemployment. So it is not necessary that advancement in technology they should increase the employment. Most of the time, the technology advancement causes some workers to lose their jobs permanently. When labor-saving machines are introduced into the productive process, a firm can get rid of workers and produce the same amount of goods than before. Therefore, some workers can lose their job, but the technology advancement can also result in creating the other job profiles for the workers, those who have lost the job, provided they need to learn the new technology, job requirements, and skill sets. So basically, that is the effect of the technology advancements. So technology advancements obviously they can cause some workers to lose their jobs, but they also open the new channels of employment. But provided with that, those workers they need to learn the new technology and the skill set that is required for that particular new employment opportunities. So that is why today's working generation it needs to be updated with the technology advancement that are happening all the in all the sectors of industry, especially the concept of industry 4.0. All right, so these were the causes of unemployment in our Indian society. So let's move on to the possible solutions to solve the unemployment issue. So following are the suggestions to solve this particular problem of unemployment. The very first solution for the unemployment is to control the rising population of our country. Obviously, government should motivate people to have small families. Indian government has started initiatives to control the population, but still the population is rising. The quality of Indian education it should be improved. The current education system it is not up to the level. Government should keep a strict watch on the education system and try to implement new ways to generate skilled labor force. Government should select a committee to look after the schools and universities like UGC and AICTE. the syllabus taught is of no use to the industry, so the education should be as per the current requirements of industries only. And before completing the education, a practical knowledge should be given to the youth of our country. All right. Then the third possible solution, it is the government should encourage and develop the agriculture based companies in the rural areas itself, and which will cause the rural candidates they don't need to migrate to the urban areas, and more employment should be generated in rural areas for the seasonal unemployment people. All right, so that is a possible solution. Then we have the development of rural areas, and which will stop the migration of rural people to the urban cities, and this will not put more pressure on the urban city jobs. Then we have the rate of capital formation by the government. So in the rate of capital formation in the country, it should be accelerated. Capital formation should be particularly encouraged in such activities which generate the greater employment opportunities. And the capital output ratio, it should be kept low. For that, government should allow for more foreign companies to open their unit in India, so that more employment opportunities will be available to our unemployed youth. All right. So these were the basically possible solutions that can solve or that may solve the issue of unemployment. All right. So this will be for this lecture. All right. In this lecture, we have studied the issue of unemployment, the causes, and the possible solutions for the unemployment issue. And we will stop here. And in the next lecture, we will study the government schemes uh, and programs that are being run to overcome this particular issue of unemployment. All right. So we will meet in the next lecture uh, with the unemployment continuation. All right. So if you have any doubt regarding the unemployment, you can comment down below this section. And thank you for listening to the lecture. Thank you.